It's a brand new week and a brand new episode here on the Granny Panty Podcast. I'm your host, RubyLynne. Before we go much further, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell because you don't want to miss an episode. If you'd like to follow me, your host, you can go to rubylynne.com where it's all things Ruby. This week's guest is amazing. She reached out to me and let me know she had 22 years in the cam industry as a Black disabled cam model, and she has met a lot of challenges. So this week, I brought her on the show, and I want to hear her advice, what she thinks about the ever changing cam industry. I mean, she's been in front of a camera entertaining folks for over 22 years. So help me welcome Minnie St. Clair. Minnie St. Clair, I am so excited to have you on this week's episode of the Granny Panty Podcast. So, welcome.
Thank you. I've been following it for a while. And I remember a couple years ago, like, I wanted to be on the show. And I was like, and then you had like a certain age limit. But now I reached I'm able to ride the ride. So we're going to ride the ride.
I have to say that your email to me, um, kind of pitching yourself of why you're a good fit was amazing. It's probably one of the best emails I've ever gotten. So I want you to know that really, I was like, yeah, let's get you scheduled. I reached out to you right away.
That is good to know. That's an interesting skill of talking to ChatGPT and say, no, I don't want to say that. Say this. So I'm
I
glad
love
it's working.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I'm really excited on a bunch of different levels. For one thing, you have over 20 years in the cam industry
Yes. 22 and counting.
as, a Black disabled cam model. And I'm excited today for you to tell your story and then also like how you've met these different challenges throughout your career. And I know for me personally as a cam model, I want to know about how did you keep your longevity? How did you keep it interesting? How did you keep getting up every day and, getting online? And so those are really my questions. Let's start 20 something years. Tell me about the beginning. How did you get into cam modeling?
So cam modeling was on the road to being an adult film star
Okay.
because high school I was very promiscuous, and then we're hanging out at the bus station, and I looked around the room. I'm like, I had sex with everybody. Can I do porn? Like I literally I said it out loud, and saying it out loud. The crew of kids I was hanging out with, they were also the kids that were bullying me. So when I
Oh,
said it, they're like, "No, you can't do that." I go, "But I don't want to have sex with nobody no more."
yeah.
Like they would call me turtle and the mattress. I still don't know what the words mean for them bullying me with these words.
Mm.
And I was like, and then also one of the guys I was having sex with, he was taking pictures of me. And I was like, well, I could do that. I just don't need to do it here.
Yeah.
So,
You need to get paid for it, right?
yeah, like everything indicated, well, you can't have sex with 100 more people. Just go have sex with 100 more professionals. So,
I love that.
yeah.
I
So
love
it was my city has the weekly alternative newspapers.
that.
So
Okay.
like the beginning of the paper is like all like lifestyle news and entertainment. Then the back
Wow.
of the paper is all the rub and tugs, strip clubs, escort agencies.
Mhm.
Then one of the papers had a 2-line ad to be a webcam model, but it offered housing accommodations. And because home life was not healthy for me,
Mhm.
I was already on the verge of moving out of, so like my parents are divorced, then they split up. Then around 14, my mom was like, go live with your dad. So that whole 4 years I lived with my dad, he was never
Mhm.
home. He didn't know
Mhm.
what the hell I was doing. He didn't know I brought people in the basement to have sex with them
Yeah.
until he found the mattress and got mad at me. Like it was just, everything was just going downhill.
Yeah.
Plus depression as a teenager is horrible because
Mhm.
hormones and all that stuff. So yeah, like I'm living outside of the house because my dad had a court case against him for me.
Okay.
So being in the temporary housing with my mom and her roommates, and they were never home. Everyone was working,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I'm 17, going on 18, and I'm like, I need food. Like, what the
Right.
hell? Because even though like it's just a weird thing. Like my parents were always there,
Mhm.
like food, clothing, shelter, vacations, pocket money for you and your friends, but emotionally they weren't there.
Mhm.
So there was a window of like I literally felt like nobody would know I'm missing.
Ah.
And I've tested it a few times. They didn't notice I was
Ah.
missing. Like I left one time to a friend's house and came home. Nobody knew I was gone. And then I got another dinner. I'm like, but I just had dinner. It's like, wait, when did you have dinner? When I went across the street to a friend's house.
Mm.
So there was a window of like every indicator why I would join adult entertainment. Yes, I check all the boxes for academic research,
Uh-huh.
but getting in, I had to figure it out. I couldn't just show
Right.
up and okay, you're pretty, let's make money. No, I had to learn the skill. I had to learn like what is a webcam, how to turn like
Mhm.
it wasn't just turn on a computer. You just turn on a
Right.
computer and connect it to a website, then log in and then talk to people in real time
Mhm.
and entice them to pay you in private chat. Those skills that I like, yes, I learned them briefly with Yahoo chat and MSN
Mhm.
chat and AOL chat and ICQ.
Yeah.
Like the cyber sex that we called it. Now we have it Cyber Monday, which every time I hear Cyber Monday, I laugh. Because cyber for me is not Cyber Monday,
Right.
it's
Right.
cyber sex. So that is how I started. Like the minute I turned 18, I emailed a few porn stars that had a website back then. Because
Okay.
back then, if you emailed somebody, it was their email address.
Right.
Like, now I don't know who you're going to email, but it's not necessarily them.
Right.
And then, yeah, I got into webcam. I was in the guy's house who turned his house living room into a studio
Okay.
with a camcorder and a computer because he was an IT person. So he did all tech support for his computer working from home.
Mhm.
And then his girlfriend and friends he made by being a customer at the strip club were into webcamming.
Okay.
So he would
Okay.
help them with the tech support. And then he just naturally decided to run ads to the paper. So it's not like studios in Canada are not as established and professional as
Okay.
studios in Romania.
Okay.
Even though I learned that studios in Romania, they could be in someone's house, just the same as
Right.
Canada having a studio in someone's house. So it's because it's still not a like we're legal, but we're not regulated professionally. Like there's
Gotcha.
no database of reviews of studios that are
Mhm.
official. Like they're not registered for a license or something. So you're pretty
Okay.
much going in hoping everything works out well.
Yeah. Were
Or
you on
you
a
have,
specific site? Sorry, I didn't mean to
yeah,
interrupt, but
yeah, I was. So the same websites I work now were the
okay.
same websites he had a contract to be a
Oh.
studio.
Oh, okay.
So it's this is where it gets a little bit like, what? Yeah, the industry is legal. The websites are legit. The websites
Mhm.
pay you. It's just people who operate in it. They just need a few cents of the industry of like how to build a website, how to run
Yeah.
ads, how to
Right.
connect the computer together. And of course, they need models to work for them so they make money because
Right.
most of the people who don't work, who think they could tell you how to work, are men.
Mhm.
And then men that are models, they're comfortable knowing their customers are men.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like the men, like it's a category. The men that are lazy are running studios, and then the men that are running traffic to websites. So it's like a whole
Right. Right.
level of the industry is managed by men, but the profits are made by women.
Yeah. True. I think that's
Like,
largely true. I mean,
yeah,
there are a few cam sites that are women ran for the most part, or at least the head of the site is female, which is
yeah.
refreshing. Um, what would you say in your with over 20 years experience, you've seen it all, I think, everything is progressed. What do you think is the most significant change in the industry now that you seem to adapt to all these changes because we have to, right? To keep moving on. What do you think's been the most significant in the 20 years?
The tip activated Bluetooth sex toys.
Ah,
And
a
I
good
don't
a
like,
good thing or a bad thing?
well, I don't have to do a lot of effort if I have one in the room.
Yeah,
And I learned I don't need it in my body if it's
right.
in the room. It just needs to
Yeah,
be in the room. And I put it near me. So, like, because like they're so powerful.
yeah.
If they're on my body the whole time, I'm
Mhm.
injured.
Yeah,
So I had to learn of it's here, it's on. If someone buzzes it, I smile, I giggle, I jump it down like a cartoon character. And then I ask them, "Do you want me to put it in my underwear?" Like,
yeah,
because I'm not gonna. Because when I had it inserted the whole time and
yeah.
it gets buzzed, yeah, there's a sharp shooting pain, and I have to act like I'm not in pain. It's only
Right,
fine.
right.
I'm like, I'm not doing that nonsense. Like,
I had I had a show that was a really good, successful show, and the Dommy is so powerful. I actually had rug burns down there.
exactly, This is
I was like, I couldn't
finally.
jump for 2 days. I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
And then certain websites, when you connect the toy to the website, it has a waiver of we're not responsible if the
Yeah,
toy
right?
causes you bodily injury. We have to sign a waiver that we're not. I wish people understood what we had to do.
Right,
It's
right,
just because every time I log on, I have to do biometric scanning. Then I have to click I agree. Then I click I agree that the
right.
toy is going to be connected and they're not responsible if I'm injured for the toy. And
Yeah.
then if I see other websites with models with their toys, they're in places the toy is not designed to be.
Yeah.
Like, don't I don't want to explain it to my doctor or the emergency room.
Yeah,
Why put yourself in that like proximity of an injury could happen, then you can't work.
yeah,
Like it's minimum 3 to 7 days of injury in your genital parts if you do something wrong with a toy.
yeah.
Like,
Thank
or the
God I
speed
haven't
is
had
not
that,
right,
but
that, like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
whatever to like, each one has a different speed on
Mhm.
each website, I notice, because the way the technology is, where before,
Right.
it was only 2 websites that had a USB plug-in toy that
Mhm.
vibrated with the website, and it was only 2 websites that had it, called
Yeah.
the Simulator. Now Lovense is
Wow.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
But did you see your income really go up with the,
yeah, 50% of my income
introduction? Yeah,
50% of my income came from my toy
yeah.
in the first 2 weeks. And it took me 4 years before I decided to get it because I was very cautious, and
Mhm.
because the way like, to see changes in the industry from another website or other models doing it, they
Okay.
do the most extreme with the changes.
Yeah.
So it didn't look attractive. It wasn't
Mhm.
like presented as Lovense making a presentation to the campsites. If
Yeah.
it was presented that way, it would have been different. Then it'd be presented as me buying any other sex toy in a
Mhm.
store. Like when I go into the
Mhm.
store and I ask them about silicone lube or water-based
Right.
lube, or it's an education or training when I'm in the store. But now that most of the things you're buying online, if you
Mhm.
don't see someone review the toy as just an
Mhm.
educator, you don't know what it is.
Right.
And then because our industry, like, even though we're talking about other models were talking about it, I only knew about it from another model using it. And it was like, but it's a vibrator. So why would it be like, and the
Yeah.
way that it's designed with the tail at the end, the antenna, and people were putting it in their behind, you're not
Yeah.
supposed to do that. Like, that is
Right.
asking for trouble. And I don't want to explain
Yep.
it to my doctor, and I don't want to explain it to a surgeon going to the emergency room to remove it. And I've
Mhm.
learned your behind is the most important part of your body. Like, no, we're not gonna. No, it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
There's just certain stuff where I'm like, yes, we're improving, but like, your body is the one thing you have in this industry.
Right.
If it
You
doesn't
need
work,
to
you don't make any
maintain it.
money.
Yeah, that's for sure. Um, yeah, it's like that's our asset, no pun intended, is keeping ourselves healthy for
Yeah, man.
sure.
I call it the golden goose. Yeah, it
That's
it
right.
it has to lay golden eggs.
I love that. I love that. So, As a Black disabled cam model, you occupy multiple intersecting identities. And how do you think your experiences have shaped your perspective on sexuality, identity, and representation in the adult industry?
So in the industry, my disability is not allowed to be there unless it's a fetish.
Okay.
Or like there's a couple customers with the same mental health condition I have, a multiple sclerosis, and they'll mention it in my room,
Hmm.
but then they'll talk about things I don't really want to talk about because I
Right.
don't need to get reminded of, oh yeah, we have a permanent condition that has no cure.
Mhm.
And as it progresses, you have bladder issues or eating issues or
Right.
swallowing issues. I'm not interested in the worst case scenario of my health condition
Right.
while I'm
Or,
working when I'm supposed to be
yeah,
pleasant and happy and attractive and
exactly.
flirty. No, that's a great way to get resting bitch face and I don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then they
But you,
get mad at me. I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Well, some guy just ruined my mood." Like,
mhm,
this industry is one of the most easiest jobs to do if you don't let anybody else give you an opinion.
right, right. Ignore everyone else and just keep your eye on the prize.
Pretty much. Like, it's and I there's so many young models who let other people's opinions stop them or ruin their relationships or like, "Oh, I can't tell my parents." You're an adult. When are you like, I left home at 18 with no money.
Yeah. Actually, that leads me into our next question, which I knew this was gonna happen, is, you know, what advice would you give to newer models coming into the industry, that are looking to navigate, the whole entire industry while still maintaining their autonomy and their own agency? Like, what are some maybe 3 or 4 things that you really recommend?
Okay, so any relationship you're in with a boyfriend that has no value other than a penis, get rid of him. I'm dead serious. And I'm saying it from lived experience of multiple relationships of they only offered me a penis. It was
Yeah.
good at the time for short-term satisfaction, but long-term satisfaction? No. No. And then eventually every penis does not work and needs Viagra or a penis pump. And I have no other way to say it than just to say it. Yeah, no, and then I learned what I should have so I paid off a boyfriend's gambling debt when I was younger. I went stripping to a club to pay off his gambling debt. He should have gotten his stripper license, not me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm because later on I ended up dating a male stripper who was perfect. He understood everything about the job.
Yeah.
Of I have to go with this client. I don't really want to, but I'm gonna make a lot of money. I'm like, okay. I'm like, where are you going? This hotel. I'm like, okay, text me when you get there. Let me what room number.
Right.
Like the way like normal sex workers would operate in the business to check in with each other.
Mhm.
This is what I was
Yeah.
doing with my temporary fling for 1 year. Like he was in the industry, he was doing the same
Yeah.
stuff. I was at home webcamming. I'm telling you could webcam if you don't want to do work in the club anymore. But they don't like the way that it's slower on webcam versus
Right.
faster in the club.
Right.
But at least I didn't have to pay off any of his debt
Yeah.
whatsoever. He did it by himself.
Well, and there's less jealousy, I believe, and less, accusations, I think.
No, they still are because I brought home
Oh.
32 strippers in a week and he got mad. So,
Oh, yeah, that might be.
like, we weren't exclusive, but we were
Yeah.
like, it was just a weird way of his conservative belief systems of being Muslim. Like, him being Muslim and being a stripper is already like a huge oxymoron.
Yeah.
But I would bring home his coworkers
Oh,
because
I see.
we're not like and then I couldn't really get married to him anyway because the disability stuff.
Right,
So, like,
right.
I was enjoying my time, and then the club banned me, then the club let me back in, then the club banned me again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because there wasn't
So
a lot
just
of
stay
male
single would be the good advice.
well, I mean, it depends, like, you both have to be in alignment.
Yeah.
You be in alignment with money,
Yep.
family, goals, ambition. If, like, if you you're if you whoever has the OnlyFans, we need a conversation. Are you spending money on OnlyFans as a customer, or are you making money at OnlyFans as a model?
Yeah.
Because even like I'm taking my money coaching course and they were talking about relationships and money. I'm like, that's
Mhm.
great. But is there any way to bring up in the subject of who has an OnlyFans account in the budget?
Yeah.
Like if you see $500 goes to an OnlyFans account, yeah. Because I remember when I had a spouse call my number asking if I'm his. I can't even put the word in words, like because the way
Yeah.
she's calling me as if I'm cheating, taking her husband. I'm like, I don't remember him.
I've had that. I've had that on Sex Panther.
hmm
Yeah.
And
I had a wife message me and yeah, I just kept messaging her back and forth until she, like, used up the money in his account. I mean, it was actually
exactly, this is what
kinda
happened on
funny.
Night
I'm
Flirt.
like I'm like,
Night Flirt,
"Hmm."
Night Flirt. The lady was yelling at me for $7 a minute, and then all of a sudden it said the customer ran out of credits, and I was like,
She just spent his money. I love it. What
mm-hmm.
other advice do you have, besides relationship?
Yeah,
How
it's
about for
relationship
longevity? I wanna yeah,
longevity.
keeping it fresh.
Well, you have to know if you're gonna like if you so models are in it for college, like they're gonna use it to make money for college, and then
Mhm.
after college they're done.
Okay.
Stick with that.
Yeah.
But also you'll lose like you don't build your business with the marketing and the branding and exposure. Like and then you're dependent on traffic from the website.
Mhm.
And then if you let's say you like you're not a webcam model where the websites automatically send the website's traffic. And
Right.
let's say you're doing clips or phone sex or
Mhm.
OnlyFans, you have to generate your traffic. When you generate your traffic, you're on the internet forever. Like when I Google Minnie St. Clair, it got everything. And then when I go to Wayback Machine, we got Minnie Saporno, we got Sweet Sensi, we got Minnie Holly. We have every variation on my website that's ever happened from the beginning of
Yeah.
2003. I'm okay with it. And then now with me doing the advocacy work and all that stuff
Mhm.
that's in my legal name, I'm okay with it because I'm now introducing myself as my legal name, professionally known as Minnie St. Clair. Every
Oh, that's
space
great.
I'm in, because it's 22 years, I can't exactly put that cat in the bag
Yeah.
anymore.
No.
It's not going to stay. It'll rip the bag out apart and never go back into a bag. Because I had some professional job I want to go after was like, oh, yeah, I like what you're doing, but I don't like your adult stuff. I go, 22 years? What am I supposed to do with it?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing I think new models need to understand is that once on the internet, whether it's behind a paywall or not, it's always gonna be out there.
And that part is also not 100% true. There's some of my content that I cannot find for the life of me on the internet anywhere. And like certain scenes that I really, really wanted to like re-promote
Sure,
and repurpose, I
sure.
can't find it. And I had the copy of it. I had the original tape of it. Tape's gone. And then some of my scenes, they're with other people. I don't have the ID of
Oh,
the people
right,
in the
right.
video. So I've had to force myself to destroy the original,
Yeah, yeah.
and then any website that had a copy of me with other people, they wanted me to submit the ID. I
Sure,
didn't have
sure.
it. So then they had
Yeah.
to remove it from the website. So like all my videos that I did of boy girl or girl girl girl,
Mhm.
they're vanishing off the internet with just me on webcam.
Yeah.
And then even some of me on webcam, like me as Sweet Sensi, you can't find it unless you know what you're looking for. And it's not even it's just one page of a website that
Mhm.
has some screen captures of me online because the website itself purged their
Oh,
content, so they're
gotcha.
not
Yeah.
hosting it. Because once I moved over to being Minnie, everything that was Sweet Sensi or Minnie Holly got
Mhm.
purged. Where yeah, there's yes, you stay on there as long as possible, but
Yeah.
content does get purged
Yeah.
because somebody has to pay for hosting and then repurpose it and then
Right,
legally have
right.
to weigh. Like if they post you on their website, depending on the websites that ask for ID of the people that are over the
Mhm.
age of 18, they have to prove it because those laws are changing.
Right.
So we say you're on the internet forever, but that's really it's a false um there's a word for it in English. Yeah, I know it's just not true, but the English word for
Yeah.
it, like the word that describes that is not
Yeah.
all true.
Okay.
Yeah, that part.
Good to know. Well, I've been in it 5 years, and I tell you, some of the original cam shows, this is before COVID, I can still find them, people pirate them or, uh, recorded during the cam show, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
that 5-year window, yes. Everything, like, because there's
Yeah.
websites that capture your feed while you're online. I found those, but they're also finding me the most like, awful poses on camera. Like, there's one of
Yes!
them there's one picture on my thumbnail somewhere where my face looks screwed up. I love that thumbnail.
That's
I use
so
it,
funny.
like, but I don't remember when it was taken. I had to log
Yeah,
in the website and click the gallery to go look at all the screen captures, and I saw it. I go, "When did I make my face like this?" And yeah, I'll use like certain pictures of me that's taken on websites that
yeah,
I didn't take, but the website took it. Yeah, I'll keep them because they're nice, but you just have to be really
yeah.
aware
Some of
that
those screenshots are something else.
yeah, they're gonna be out there, but then there
Mm.
are services now that will remove content.
Yeah,
At least they try to remove content because
I
even
use
that
Branded Scan.
yeah, and then there's DMC Force, like, there's services out
Mhm.
there, but then even that, that's $150 or
Oh,
depending
I
on what that
know.
packages is
Yes.
to remove some of your content
Yep.
that they'll catch an it's like whack-a-mole. They'll catch enough of them,
Yeah,
but they're not catching everybody.
you are right. You are absolutely right. That's a good, way to put it, whack-a-mole.
And then learning when to stop paying for the service. This is why I reference the whack-a-mole because when you're buying the tickets for the big bear in the back, is it really worth getting the big bear in the back to bring home from the carnival? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think once you start doing studio work, like for myself, what'll happen is, the takedown will see that and want to try to take it down when, I don't own the content. Studio does. So yeah, it does get a little weird. It does look a
Yeah,
bit weird.
that part too. Like some of my content is owned by somebody else.
Mhm.
Like the Mini Holly website's owned by somebody else. And then everything in there, I get fans who still love that video. They still love
Yeah.
that scene. I'm like, okay, well, did you spend money on me anywhere else? Like it's just
Right. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Uh, what legacy do you hope to leave in this industry?
Well, I mean, I've done some digging. I found I am probably the first black cam model in the industry.
Oh
I
wow.
mean, like, yeah, because I looked there, because for starting in 2003, there was a lot of porn stars that started. There were studios in South Africa that started, but I can't find individual, like, except for one, Izzy Charm. But I don't know if her website is active. I just know one of her websites is still online, and the
Mhm.
old school membership
Yeah,
site of
right. Her
Southern
name's
Charms is still there.
okay.
But I
Is he
can't
charm, you
find,
said?
yeah, Izzy
Okay. I'm
Charm.
gonna
Because
look into
Izzy
that.
Charm educated me that I could have made money when I had braces on,
Oh.
and my braces came off like halfway being 18. and
Okay.
then I and then I was like, "Wait a minute, I could make money from my retainer?" Like, it was just I
Hey, you can
was
sell anything in this
yeah,
industry,
and
let me
I was
tell
like
you.
so I was mildly upset because I hated my braces in the final year, and I we could have taken pictures, we could have done videos, we could have done flossing videos, we could have done so many things
Yeah, right?
for the final year of being 18, going on 19, 20, getting my braces off. But it's okay. I've learned that I have to get back braces again.
Well,
So
there you go.
I'll see what we pick for my braces, whether it's the old school wire braces or the Invisalign braces, and maybe I'll make some videos for that. I don't know, but yeah, there's certain seasons of life when you're legally able to make the content. Do you make content for it or take
Mhm.
enough pictures of it so that people remember that time for you, like
Okay.
pregnancy content or like the braces content? There's certain fetishes that are seasonal.
Yeah.
It's a good time to decide, do I want to make content or just gonna like leave it as that moment in time?
Mhm. Yeah, I
And
broke
then
my wrist in 2020, going down a slip and slide, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be out for 6 weeks, I can't cam." And an acquaintance of mine who is a fetish creator, solely fetish, is like, "Are you kidding? There's a huge market for cast fetish." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, do the." So he's like giving me all these ideas. I had no clue. And then
Yeah.
for a while, I got asked to do all these customs for medical fetish. Like, dudes would be like, "Put a pair of crutches on your Amazon list." And I went down that whole rabbit hole for like a year.
Yeah. So there was a video I watched at the Porn Star Film Awards in my city where she attached a bullet vibrator to her crutches.
Oh, how funny.
And I was like, wait, what? You made a whole movie about it? It's winning an award? Like, it's just, yeah, you kind of have to decide, like, it's, as long as it's allowed on the website in their terms and conditions,
Right.
and then your comfort level, and then energy to develop the content, and then remember to use it. Like, I have videos on my hard drive that I should have uploaded the same day it was created. I didn't. I don't. And then I have to go back and go find them to see if they're still there in the hard drive. So
That's
it's an
funny.
interesting thing of you can monetize almost every aspect of your life in this
Oh my
industry.
gosh. Yes, you can. What other advice do you have?
Yeah, the whole mom and dad thing. You're an adult. Their whole job is to have you function as an adult. Cooking, cleaning, laundry. Get out the house. Get out the house.
Don't live in the basement forever, huh?
No, like I know this kid's like I moved out right away. But even when I moved out right away in the house I was in, the minute I had enough money to move out in my own apartment, I did. And then, yeah, my parents were like, "Oh, come back home." I'm like, "Where?" Plus, there was actually no room for me in my home because my brother was born. My brother got my room. So my room became his nursery. Then my sister had the spare room. My sister still had her room. The basement wasn't finished. So in my mind, I'm like, where am I going to live? Like, how is this supposed to work? And I didn't have a job where I go outside of the house and go to
Mhm.
work. I was working from home.
Ah.
So parents are begging me to move home. I'm like, okay, but we need to have an honest talk of what my job is, that I spend all my time at home making money online, making content, doing live streams and talking sexual content. Like my aunt knew what I was doing. So when I thought I had to move into my aunt was like, "You can't do what you do at my house." I'm like, "Well, then we're gonna have a problem because I don't even know how I'm supposed to get to like
Right.
it just wasn't gonna work."
Mhm.
So like this is why the plan is what is it? Like, oh, I'm gonna do this a short period of time. Okay, when is that time gonna stop? Oh, okay. Now, after 5 years, if you're still here, you need another plan. Either it's quitting or you keep going. If you keep going, then you have like Minnie St. Now. I have to register it as a trademark. I have to go get a lawyer. That's going to cost me money, and they're not cheap because
Right.
I want to do it
Right.
properly. Like,
Mhm.
and then I have to run around the internet, see if somebody's using my name. Do I send them a cease and desist letter? Going to cost me money because year 10, I was like, oh crap, 10 years. What do I do? Yeah, you're 22. It I have to do something. And then there are models who are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s working today. What is your game plan? Like, oh yeah, we don't have pension, we don't have retirement, we don't have
That's
health
true.
insurance.
Yep.
We don't have like, did you plan your executor of your estate? Like all the big woman thing decisions we have to make. You kind of have to know what they are right after year 3.
Yeah.
Because it's not, oh, I finished college and I graduate and I'm in another career and I leave this all behind. Okay, like even that, I have, so the stripper friend that told the guy who had the living room studio, she was a stripper that told him about it. Then she left and went to work in the banking industry. Then she found me on YouTube. Then she's calling me and be like, hey, how's webcamming? I go, it's fine. You found my content. Like,
Yeah, right,
what a
right.
stupid question you're asking me. Then she kept calling me for weeks, wondering about the webcam industry. I go, do you plan on trying it? You're just gonna just get asking me questions. And she's like, oh, I don't know. I work at the bank now. I go, then stop bothering me about it.
Yeah.
Like if you're so happy in your banker job or your teaching job or nursing job and you left the industry and you have no plans of coming back, stay over there. I mean, in the most nicest way possible, stay over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you come back, no, coming back means you lose that nursing job, that teaching job, because we've seen it happen in the news all the time.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And unless you have money for a really good lawyer to fight for that job, for the health benefits or whatever, and go through all that
Mhm.
nonsense, you have to come back again. You have to pay health insurance and
Right.
move your retirement account over. There's so many things you have to bring with you if you've left and come back, or you're
Right.
leaving
Right.
and plan not to come back. Because don't
And
wake
yeah.
up and be 65, 50 and have no money in retirement. And it's not something that's taught in schools. You have to figure out how to learn it.
Yeah.
And I like the level of, I had to learn all these things. I used to watch Susie Orman while I work webcam.
Oh, yeah, I used to follow her.
Exactly. So the only reason I have a good sense of my finances, I'd be working
Mhm.
webcam and then the TV behind my computer was Susie Orman, like really low enough because I'm the generation that didn't have a microphone. Then I had a microphone. Now I work with headphones, so you can't hear what I'm watching in my
Ah,
microphone.
there you go.
so,
I love it. Well, as we close out, the show, I want you to shout out where people can find you.
so I'm mostly active on Twitter, sometimes till 4 o'clock in the morning. It's
Okay.
okay. I'll go to bed eventually. And then YouTube, Minnie on Cam, and my
Okay.
TikToks and Instagram are getting clips and stuff.
Okay.
I have to figure out how to put that in the schedule of making content over there.
Mhm.
But first place is Twitter, YouTube, and then if you see me on TikTok, okay, great. I'm trying to just keep my name out there. That's all.
Yeah, as you
Yeah.
should. And then
But
how
social
about your
media,
spicy stuff?
all my spicy stuff are on Fanberry. So minnie.st.clair.fanberry have all my spicy links.
Okay.
And then you just have to wait and see when I pop online. I
Where are
didn't
you
even log
most?
on this morning.
Are you mostly on Streamate? Is that your number 1 site or
There's 4. So there's Streammate, Flirt for Free, Cams.com, and I'm Live.
Okay.
And I did. I figured out how to put them all on the schedule. 2 of them I
Okay.
can split cam because they're similar websites
Good.
with similar traffic.
Mhm.
And then I'm basic. So like I rank them based on what they offer in a company. So like Flirt for Free has the best offer with a vacation and they pay for everything in the vacation. Then I'm
Okay.
Live gives away like physical prizes, like a Gucci
Mhm.
bag or something. Then Cams and Streamate, they offer cash bonuses when you make the company a lot of money.
Right.
And then I have to remake my whole living room apartment to look like a studio. And then I pretty much will webcam until I retire, which I'm not sure what that looks like because people
Right.
work until their 70s. So as long as I'm physically able and I'm mentally able and I remember all the websites that I have,
Yeah.
because if I don't remember a website, I'm not unable to log on because 2 websites, I logged in to see my account was there. I have to reactivate it and prove that it's still
Oh,
me to get my account. So this is when I see models working all these websites. You're not
yeah,
going to remember all of them.
that's true.
And
That's true.
all of them want you to work 20 to 40 hours a week. And then each one of them have a payout minimum of $20 to $100. And then you
Yeah.
have life and a boyfriend and parents that don't like your job. And then you want to go on vacation and have a
Right.
cat that can't be on camera. It's a lot of things we have to juggle.
It
It,
is a lot. It is a lot.
and then, oh yeah, some of you have children. I do not. So that they also require stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know how the moms of young children do it. I'm empty nest, so that's the only way I get it done, but yeah. Well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to get to know you and hear your advice and just, what keeps you going. I really appreciate you wanting to be on the show and making the time.
if it wasn't clear, I'm obsessed with this industry. Just if people didn't understand what keeps me going, it's the obsession.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's ever changing, right?
mhm.
So, well, thanks again, Minnie. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it too.